Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast, and welcome to my voice coming back after last weekend at the casino, hanging out, starting to come back, fluids, vitamins. I'm getting back to health, getting back in the gym, feeling good. So today we are going to be talking about super fights. Now, super fights is something that, going back years was something magical, something that you would never see happen. Almost a hypothetical was what a super fight basically was. It was one, hey, this could happen, this could happen. There wasn't really many that have really happened within combat sports. So, of course, the McGregor-Mayweather situation happens. Mayweather wins in boxing. More and more conversations coming about them now stepping in the octagon and having some type of fight there, or Mayweather fighting somebody else, in the ring. But a super fight, yes, was a McGregor-Mayweather, was a super fight. You've got a multiple champion in the UFC, you've got the greatest of all time fighter, and obviously ex-champion of multiple divisions as well for Floyd Mayweather. So you have a super fight. A super fight is just an enormous fight. Now, today I feel like that word is the most overused word in MMA, in the UFC, completely by far. It is just used on such a term that it's almost becoming a regularity that a super fight they should always happen. These kind of things should always happen. And it's not the way that it should be. And I'm going to go down a couple things and a couple points, and definitely want you guys to add your comments and what you think about this as a whole. If super fights is something you guys love, something you guys hate, something you really don't mind. So kind of let me know, and I'll go into my angle here on the way I looking at this. So really now, with the super fight situation, you've got Daniel Cormier and you've got Stipe Miocic fighting during fight week this summer. Awesome fight, great fight, one that I'm excited about, one that does actually make sense when it comes to a super fight look at things. And really, you've got Miocic, who could be the greatest heavyweight of all time, dominating, knocking out ex-champions, really just doing an unbelievable job in that division, and cleaning it out. Daniel Cormier, obviously, besides of the John Jones situation there, has cleaned out his division, has dominated, has beaten some of the best guys, really top to bottom. I mean, there really isn't anyone you could say, oh, he hasn't beat. I know Gustafsson now is saying he wants to fight and, fight him and that kind of thing. But even right now at this point, that fight, I guess, can happen, but this fight really does make sense. You've got a guy in Daniel Cormier also who is looking to only be in the UFC for about another year or so. So he's looking to do other things. So this is a great time to do a super fight between a heavyweight champion and a light heavyweight champion. Makes complete sense. But now you've got people, more and more people coming out, someone like Tyron Woodley, who has publicly said he's willing to give up his belt to fight George St. Pierre. He's willing to give up his belt to fight, there was a couple other people, maybe it was McGregor, or he was really looking to just have a super fight and get that big money fight that he's looking for. And to me, when things start going that way, when the ball starts rolling in the direction of champions looking to vacate a title for the hopes of a super fight or the hopes of a bigger money fight, really is a horrible look for the UFC, is I think a terrible look for MMA as a whole, if they're really watering down having a title and it's just all about just these big super fights and making them and making it a ton of money. And of course, they're prize fighters, they get paid to fight, that's of course part of this. I'm sure Woodley is doing very well when it comes to his bank account. I'm sure he's doing all right. But when that is the tone now about leaving, giving up titles, it should be worrisome to the high-level people in the UFC that are really the top organizers of the UFC. I mean, you've also got, TJ Dillashaw is saying he wants to fight Demetrius Johnson. And that fight, okay, I could kind of see, because Demetrius Johnson has completely cleared out his division. He's dominated from top to bottom. There really is nobody else in that division that even makes sense. I mean, he's got other people that he could fight again. Is it make sense? Is it something that really people would pay to see? You know, he's had some of the lowest numbers of viewership when it comes to his title defenses and people watching it. So a lot of that is going on, but I get where Demetrius Johnson's coming from. But he's saying, I don't want to leave the division. I just want a super fight. So even that starts to say, well, what the hell is he talking about? And now someone like TJ Dillashaw, who I think Demetrius and him, you know, they've had words constantly throughout on social media and that kind of thing. But now Demetrius Johnson is saying, TJ Dillashaw is saying, well, I'll fight him. Now, Dillashaw just got his belt back, and there are a wide variety of people within that division that I feel, including Cody Garbrandt, can fight him again, and is a compelling fight, and a fight that people want to see. So this isn't a position where Dillashaw has wiped out his division. He's cleaned it out. There's no one else to fight, and now him and Johnson can have a super fight, and that could make sense. That could make sense if that was the case. But at this point, it doesn't make sense. And I know that someone like Demetrius Johnson wants to have a super fight or a big fight, but then he doesn't want to leave his division. So there's a lot of situations like that guys, why are champions yelling that stuff out? And it starts to become too much of the headlines of a super fight, where it starts to minimize when a guy is just defending his title against the number 4 ranked guy in his division. You know, is it as compelling, but it may not make as much money, and the revenue could be extremely high for the UFC, which at the end of the day, they want to make money, but you need to keep a product that people want to see, and if you keep doing these, the expectation is going to be these super fights need to be happening, you know, once every year, 2 years, whatever. These should be such far and few in between, and only when they absolutely make sense. I mean, you've got someone, again, like Amanda Nunes and Chris Cyborg, and that's another one where, hey, these girls, obviously they're, Cyborg is Cyborg, she's a dominant champ. You know, Nunes has some, there's definitely competition within that division, and I understand maybe even Cyborg's division is a little thin to an extent. I get that also, but you also don't want to, you want to build those divisions. You also want to build those divisions. You don't want the champ then to lose, and that one champ's got 2 belts, and now what happens to that other division? Now it just starts to make things a little bit more difficult, at least in my eyes, of a super fight mentality throughout MMA. Even now, with McGregor, there's still conversation about, besides the Mayweather part of things, there's still conversation about him fighting George St. Pierre. I mean, to me, that fight doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And it's one that, I guess, if it was to be announced and to be happening, of course I'm watching. I love the UFC. I love combat sports in general. I will definitely be watching. Does it make sense? No, because in his division, there are 2 animals in Tony Ferguson and Khabib that are waiting, obviously after April 7th, are waiting to fight him. Or McGregor's vacating the title. Whatever's happening there still is a little bit, foggy. Sounds like he may be giving up the title, but things like that. Now McGregor is a 2-time champion. He had to give up his featherweight title. Now his lightweight title, he gets one title, one fight in that division, wins the belt, and then never fights in it again. Now looking for other opportunities to make more money. Maybe he's a little more nervous to fight someone like Tony Ferguson or Khabib. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to fight them, which I guess can be understandable, but you're a combat sport fighter. Some people said, actually there's people commenting on one of my prior videos, saying, well, he's rich. He's rich. That, yes, of course he is. He's ridiculously rich. But in the sense of a sport, it doesn't mean if Tom Brady, signs a deal for, $100 million on his next contract or whoever it may be, does that mean that, okay, well, I don't have to do as much? You still need to produce a product. And I think that's what's missing here, is that now that McGregor has done this, now he has fought Mayweather, he has made an astronomical amount of money. Other guys in UFC are saying, this is the path to not having to fight all the time. This is the path to just making a ton of money right now, build some hype around it, get a payday that, obviously no one's going to be getting $100 million like McGregor, but maybe you could make $10 million on a big pay-per-view, champion versus champion, and they won't care. That's what it's turned out to, is that these champions kind of don't care if it's a super fight and they lose. Doesn't that take away from the super fight? Doesn't that part take it away, as if both guys kind of don't really care, because one, if you lose, you're still a champion, unless you're putting it on the line, which, again, now DC is going up in weight. If he loses, he keeps his belt, he goes back down to his division. If, TJ Dillashaw goes down in weight, Demetrius Johnson beats him, he goes back and he keeps his title. I mean, it starts to really minimize what being a UFC world champion means. And if everyone is diving after these super fights, it just starts to make things a little bit more tougher down the road than right now. Right now, yes, if they did, there's talks about it this summer, Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg. There is still heavy talks about TJ versus Johnson, and then you obviously have DC versus Miocic. So you've got those three fights, awesome. Those are, you've got 6 champions in 3 fights happening. There will be a lull when there will be title fights for a little while with all of these title fights on the line. So it's just my, 2 cents of this topic, because it's just constantly on the headlines of super fight this guy wants a super fight, this guy wants the big money fight, and no one's really just kind of talking about the guys that are coming up that deserve title shots. The guys coming up that should be in that number 1, contender category for the title, but now have to sit back and wait, and sometimes a long time, for these super fights, and this WWE character building keeps going. And then they kind of got to wait, where the guys that do deserve those shots, maybe they're not as big of a name, or maybe it's just, it's just not, the timing is a little bit off, but they deserve it. But now there's all these super fights, and the UFC sees the bottom line, and they say, we want that. We want that money. We want that revenue. We want that income to our bottom line to make more money. So, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think it doesn't really do anything either way? Do you think that this, you want to see more of these? You let me know. Or are you on my side? It's kind of becoming a little annoying, but, again, will I watch? Yeah, I'll watch. But what does it do in the aftermath if there are 3 or 4 super fights with champion versus champion, or whatever it may be? What happens to the UFC moving forward? So let me know what you guys think. This is Mr. UFC, Vegas Fight Club TV. See you soon.